There's a thing called karma. I rarely travel for business, but when I do, I usually pick a random restaurant and eat alone at the bar, primarily because sitting by myself at a table is depressing. While at the bar, two older ladies chatted me up. When this happens, I always find a way to bring up my family and share pictures to let people know where I stand. At this point, one of them tells me she used to be married and began to tell me her story. Apparently, she was happily married at one point with 2 kids in their late teens. She was very successful in her field, which was software sales. She said she became friendly with one of her male colleagues. Nothing too inappropriate, but acknowledged they spent more time together than they should have. One day after a meeting, they hugged, and he quickly kissed her on the lips. She said she hadn't thought of him that way before, but the kiss confused and excited her. She didn't talk to her husband about it that night. Instead, she went back to work the next day and talked to the guy that kissed her. He confessed to having feelings for her. She said she wasn't sure how she felt about him. That night, she had a conversation with her husband. She told him at the kiss. Her husband was irate that she talked to the other man about it first. She then told her husband that she wasn't sure if she had feelings for the other man or not, that needed time to sort things out. She said she had no idea why she told her husband that. Well, unlike the posts on here, she never got that chance to sort things out with the other man. Her husband started packing his things after their conversation was over. Within a week, he told her he wanted a divorce. His rationale was that if she was that easily confused by a kiss, she didn't love him. He also had no intention of waiting around for her to sort out her feelings for the other man. She showed me a pic of the other man and her ex-husband. The other man was nowhere near as good-looking as her husband. I know the timeline, but her ex-husband is now remarried. She referred to her ex-husband as the love of her life. She did eventually take things physical with the other man. She indicated that they are still intimate, but she talked about him really badly and even acknowledged that he wasn't an attractive man. So basically, she wrecked her whole life to become the Phoebe of the other man. Honestly, part of me felt really bad for her, but at the same time, I thought her ex-husband was my hero for how he handled it. No waffling on his part at all. When she told him she needed time to think about things, he was done. I don't know her husband's side, but I got the impression that the mere notion that she needed time to think about things after 2 decades of marriage was just really offensive to him. Perhaps if she had thrown the OM under the bus and distanced herself more, it would have been different. I don't really know. All I do know is that he made up his mind, and quickly too. So she really didn't have a chance to do anything else. I also got the feeling I was getting the PG version, because she was sitting next to her friend. The comments. Why the hell did he move out? He's not my hero. She is the confused one. He should have packed her bags and sent her to the EMBLC. I'm not sure if I have any sympathy for her. Her hubby was right. If she is that easily confused by one stupid-ass kiss, then she doesn't really love him. And she did eventually take it further with the OA. So there was something to the kiss. Had she realized the kiss meant nothing to her, but it was too late. The hubby is gone, and she never acted on the kiss or taken it further with the OL. Then I would feel genuine sympathy for her. Then I would say she should have waited a few days to process it and tell him. Also tell the boss at work. The kissed her, she didn't kiss him. The kid happened at work. If anything, she realized her marriage was over and went to the OP because she had no choice, emotionally or whatever, she needed someone. I'm sure lots of guys, when they find out the wife is cheating, think, thank God. I get out of jail free now. I haven't even liked that B word in a long time. I'm not so sure it's always a matter of confidence or security. It can be a matter of the relationship was never good to begin with. I can admire and respect both approaches. I would have spit out my drink when she got to the part where she fell into the kiss. His fault. I'd have asked if she pushed him away, and then slapped him, told him she's not that type of girl. She's not that type of girl. Or is she that type of girl? Then tell her how I love a good story. Husband sounds like the guy I'm planning to be. Pretty young and only in my early 20s. And I plan on dealing with relationships like this. I've read enough stories to come to the conclusion I don't even want to waste time. If I'm getting the vibe something is off, and I've brought my share to the relationship, I'm going cold. No second chance, no talking it out. Nope, fates. I want to cut it off then and there. Sounds cold, but I'd rather be cold and know I had the last word on ending the relationship. Just don't want to be that guy who got played and emotionally laughed in the face when it comes to light. I think I have feelings for him. Yeah, right. Her ex did the Mako thing. If more guys did this, I think there would be less tomfoolery. But alas, it's just not like that. This person is telling you some sob story. Yeah, let's get fish hooked. In any case, if the person's ex just packed and walked, which I wouldn't have done, it's quite possible he saw red flags way before she told him. Probably not a stupid man. It's the last straw. He had enough baloney and walked. Oh, that's what I did. In any case, if you need to sort your feelings, move out and do the hokey pokey. Then by all means, go find yourself. But when you wake up, I will be here. Flat out zero respect. The end of Soapbox. Story 2. Hello all. I've been reading this channel recently, and this is my first post. I'll try to be brief as many of the stories seem to be similar in nature. Stats. Together 11 years. Was married 6 years. 3-year-old daughter. Own house. Both have high-level jobs at different companies. This year, I've noticed my wife getting more detached and making a larger deal out of small arguments than in the past. I brought it up to her, and she didn't admit that there was any difference in her behavior. I'm not going to say I've always been the best husband. I've been the best husband, but I've listened to her concerns and rectified them, mostly helping with our daughter, etc. I've never stepped out emotionally or physically. My gut suspicions that something was going on prompted me to check her email and Facebook account. Sure enough, I found out that she was contacting her ex-boyfriend that she was with 7 years prior to our relationship. The messages were I'm in marriage is miserable and contained details about her frustrations with me and that she always loved him. I also found out that she had been calling him. I confronted her and said this needs to stop, and I feel very uncomfortable with it. As with many, she deflected and made herself the victim of privacy invasion. I said we need counseling or I'm leaving. We decided to try counseling. At no point did she ever admit fault or that what she was doing was wrong. During counseling, we met 4 times and the counselor discussed how unhealthy the communication was with the ex and suggested it stop. We also discussed her concerns with me, helping out more with our daughter, house, etc., which I agreed I would work on immediately, which I did. After counseling, no change from my wife. She proceeded to change every password on every account, including cell phone, email, Facebook, computer lock, phone lock, etc., to keep from checking in on her. She did not change her main email account, which at the time I still had access to. She said that contact with her ex had stopped, which it hadn't, but I didn't tell her I knew she was still in contact, otherwise it would alert her that I had her email logged in. A new more concerning issue a month ago. I discovered in her Gmail account that she had opened a Google Plus account and had been in contact with a VP in the legal department for the company she works for. She is a newly licensed attorney and has been contacting him and her for a potential opportunity to work for his team. He is married also and has 2 children. I was surprised to see that their communication was happening outside of work email and on personal social media. She never really brought up his name, so at first, I wasn't sure who he was. The first few exchanges were somewhat tame and not too concerning, however. In my opinion, completely inappropriate to exchange conversation outside of work media. As the weeks went on, the conversations took a more personal path, and she has been confiding in him about her frustrations with her marriage, etc. He exchanged how his wife frustrates him sometimes, and how he also must frustrate her. Some of the excerpts from conversations include, he's got a heck of a wife, and if I were him, I'd be working hard. I mean that, and not in a way to make you uncomfortable. Just my perspective. Oh, I said too much again. I know why I like you so much. Cunt. Okay, so, did I tell you that my husband told our therapist that I message my ex-boyfriend regularly? Not true, but whatever. It's these messages that he thinks are going to him. Did we date? You're kind of a guilty pleasure. I characterize you the same way. I'll be in town in December. Deal time to go out? Though too complicated. Does he own guns? Kidding. I should keep my mouth shut. Her, hi. No, he's not scary. He cares too much about what people think of him. He only shows himself to me. Her, it would be great to see you. Let's see if you actually come out this time. No, that seems like a challenge. Her, it is, of course. Hush. I knew you'll come out this time. It is, of course. I know you're busier than ever right now. Thank you for taking the time. It's no problem. And you put me in a good mood, too. That was my true secret goal. There's obviously a lot more, but basically the conversations are her frustrations, mostly vast over-exaggerations, as well as his frustrations with his wife and his wife with him. He is constantly validating her and saying she is quality, a great package, etc. She also reveals way too much personal detail about conversations, our therapy sessions, etc. Here's another big issue. She is in the process of getting a position on this person's legal team. They will be in different states. However, there will be travel 2 to 3 times per quarter to his location. She loves her job and most of the time seems to be the most important thing in her life, even above our daughter many times. I don't ever think I would feel comfortable with the two of them alone, and the thought of her working for him makes me ill, knowing how hard she worked for her position. I don't want to jeopardize that for her, even though I know she and he are wrong. Fifi, she doesn't know that I have any idea of this relationship or these conversations. Thoughts so far for action. Confront him will jeopardize her job and she will never forgive me. Unfront his wife will possibly jeopardize her job and risk that the wife won't feel there is an issue and make me look bad. Give an ultimatum to my wife. You stop communication and give me access to your email, Facebook, etc. Otherwise, we are getting divorced. Also, I've seen conversations prior to her changing all her passwords, bashing me, and revealing way too personal information to some of our friends and her other colleagues. Knowing that she has done this makes me very uncomfortable to be around these people. If my daughter weren't in the picture, it would be much easier to leave. My main and only concern is for her well-being. Am I out of line and overreacting, thinking that this behavior is unacceptable? I have a feeling that most will agree that this is not appropriate, but would also like to hear the devil's advocate. Perhaps someone that has been on the other side and can justify her behavior and actions. Immense brother, your wife is about to go into a full-blown affair. She already had an emotional affair with her past boyfriend. She learned from it, went more underground. Go see a lawyer ASAP, have divorce papers drawn up, separate your finances, and get ready to throw her disrespectful cheating ass out on the curb. I know you love your wife, and you want to show her that you are the man for her. Nice isn't the way. It is perceived as weakness. She wants a man, not a boy. The only way to save your marriage now is to be a Marin. Be strong and take her to task. Don't punish her but hold her accountable for the terrible crap she is doing. She is about to destroy your family. The other guy, he's a total jerk. Expose him for what he is. If he is married, tell his wife ass up. Expose the affair. Kill it, kill it. Since this is the second time, I would consider your wife a serial cheater. You may just have to get divorced, so prepare for it, because with her it may never stop. Take care of yourself. Protect yourself financially and fiscally. If you are going somewhere for Thanksgiving, you should send her by herself. Pack all of her stuff in boxes and suitcases and have them sitting on the doorstep for when she returns. Send her packing. You cannot protect your daughter from your wife's actions. You can only comfort her and be truthful with her. Whether your daughter wants to be involved or not, she is. There's no getting around that. Do not wait. Get rolling on this ASAP. It will not fix itself. And the longer it goes on, the harder it will be to save anything worth saving. Happy Thanksgiving, brother. I am so sorry you were here. Shenub responds, wow, you guys are great. I went out for a run to clear my head and came back to all this great support. I've never put myself out there like this, but glad I took the leap. My problem is I wear my emotions on my sleeve, so now she knows something is up. We are now not talking, and since it's a holiday, I have no contact with a lawyer most likely until Monday. It's hard for me to not tell her what I know, but I need to try and be patient. She has now, not surprisingly, turned the table on me and is mad at me. Iskamatz, your wife is following the cheater script. Actually, line by line, she's not ready to quit. I take into account that she is a lawyer and thinks she is smarter than you and is walking the line to a certain degree, so as to not give you the high ground. But what really stands out is the complete frankness to others about her marital unhappiness. Disrespect to the betrayed spouse is generally inferred by natural definition, but her verbalizing it to others shows complete contempt. I am so sorry, but this woman is toxic. Don't give her ground by doing something emotional or demonstrative as she would expect, especially waiting for you to pull something crazy so she and her lawyer friends can pick you apart as a father and a stable person. Be cool and collected. Save up whatever hard evidence you have. Get a game plan established of what you need to go on independently, as well as conferring with a lawyer who hopefully does not run in the same social circles. Get all your stuff together before you drop the bomb that you know. I am not a relational expert, but it just seems like this has gone beyond salvaging. Your wife seems fairly justified in her actions right now, and that will result in her turning that ugliness on you. It is inevitable. But yeah, seriously, stop the passive aggressiveness and victim puppy dog. It will certainly get her paranoid about covering her tracks, even if you have to make up a story as to why you have been moody. But anything you disclose from this point will only blow up in your face. Like the Bible verse says, don't cast your pearls upon swine. They will trample them off their feet and tear you to pieces. Your knowledge is power right now. Do not give this to a woman who will use that. Who will use that power against you? Let go of the butthurt actions you usually try to guilt her with and act like nothing is wrong. Hope he responds, man. This is all tough to take in, but really appreciate the open and honest feedback. I think my best course of action will be in this order. 1. Implement the 180 today. Just learned about this behavioral change on this forum. Frictions. Contact an attorney as soon as possible to consult and review options. Most likely Monday would be the first available. 3. Once I have learned of my options, drop the bomb on her with a letter that states my decision to proceed with a divorce and supply the evidence of the conversations with her emotional affair, leaving my ring on top of the letter to solidify my intent. Things I'm still on the fence about doing and or when to do. Let the guy's wife know about the emotional affair and send her the evidence. FYI, she is a high-level partner at a law firm, so not sure how that all plays into things. Contact the guy, emotional affair, and let him know that I am aware of the conversations and it needs to stop. Let all our friends and family know what is going on and her actions. Primarily the ones I know she has already bashed me to. Her comment about he's not scary makes me want to be the biggest guy either one of them have ever encountered. No physical harm, of course, that is never an option. Ideas are welcome, although realistically, I know I need to be the better person. I want to cause as little drama as possible, and my utmost concern is the impact on my daughter. I need to contact the OJUN's fill her in. The only contact I can find for her is a work number at the firm she works for. Any advice of how to start the conversation or leave a voicemail? I'm sure I will not get her live with enough detail to pique her interest, but not have her blow it off and not call me back. I wouldn't feel comfortable if someone left a confidential VM on my work number with too much detail. I was thinking along the lines of this for a VM. We don't know each other, however people very close to us do. I discovered something that has caused me some concern that I think you should know about. Sorry to be so cryptic in my message, however. I feel you need to know the details. I can be reached at this number. Please call me at your earliest convenience. I won't leave my name on the message for obvious reasons. Update, started the 180 and jumped in head first. Many of the 180 suggestions are things that I try to do on a regular basis, so shouldn't cause too much suspicion. However, it will help me stay on task and be consistent with it. I have a consultation with a family law attorney on Moan next week, so at least that ball is rolling, slowing getting everything in order to make a clean break when, if I have to. Ideally, I would like for her to agree that she did the wrong thing and won't continue, although she will never admit that what she is doing is inappropriate. After much consideration, I decided that I won't drop the bomb until after the holidays, primarily for my daughter's sake. I don't want to ruin this important time of the year for her, and will suck up the pain. Going to contact the OAW the first of the year, which will start the chain reaction of events. I've also purchased fare for her car and the house for further evidence if needed. It will take me at least 3 to 5 weeks to get finances, legal options, etc., in order for me to go in fully prepared. Also, if my daughter weren't in the picture, it would be a totally different story. I can enjoy the next few weeks in order to mitigate the damage it may cause for her. I can already see signs of the 180 working towards my advantage. I know it will get worse, the lies, cheating, etc., but at this point, does it really even matter? I've already accepted the situation I'm in. At least I can have control over when and how I execute. I hear you all loud and clear. However, everyone's situation is different, and I feel that waiting until the end of the holidays is best for me. Trust me, I'm at a point where this will not be swept under the rug. The line has been crossed for the last time. Update, please, with the doormat talk. That couldn't be further from the truth. 11 years we've been together. The instant I uncovered something inappropriate, I immediately issued the ultimatum. Fake or D. She opted for the MC. Now that I've found out that she is having another EA approximately 30 days after our last session, I've been patient and building up evidence for the attack. I just discovered this forum, and it has helped me think of many things that I didn't consider. I need to get my ducks in a row before I blow the cover. Otherwise, I'm in a bad position and unprepared. I can act like nothing is wrong and pull off the 180 until all contingencies are in order. We bring a knife to a fight when I can build an A-bomb. Someone please fill me in on what possibly can get that much worse in the next 25 to 30 days. She turns it from an EA to a P. The marriage is going to be over. That is the outcome, either way. There's no saving the marriage once I drop the bomb. I know my wife too well. She is stubborn as a mule and will never apologize and admit she is wrong. At this point, I don't care what else she does. I'm moving on without hope of reconciliation. But truthfully, I hope it does escalate, so there will be no doubt that he loses his job, his wife leaves him, and my wife will have to live with the fact that she broke apart our family for the rest of her life. Defeat is inevitable. Why not plan it so the timing is convenient for me and mitigates damages to my daughter? I'm sorry, but acting hastily doesn't make you a man, and making sure you are strategic and have everything you need to obliterate certainly doesn't mean you are a doormat. Anyhow, I wanted to write a final update. I was able to hold it together during the holidays and enjoyed our 12-day vacation. I kept my poker face the entire time, not letting her know I was aware of her EA after getting all my ducks in a row. I dropped the bomb this morning on my way to work. I left a personal letter of intent to divorce, a 42-page transcript of all the messages from the EA, a copy of the petition of divorce I filed with the state with my wedding ring on top of the documents. I received a text about an hour later saying that I would have recommended legal separation and individual counseling, but have it your way. I followed up with this. Isn't my way not what I want? Not what I wanted. It's your way. Your actions, your behavior, your issues. You've given no other option. A few hours went by and she responded. I think we need to have an amicable sit-down discussion about how to move forward. We both want what's best for our daughter more than anything. Thoughts on what to say and how to handle. Yes, reconciling would be ideal, but it would take some major changes on her part, and I don't have confidence she has it in her, assuming she even wants to reconcile. I chose not to use an attorney at this point, as I feel confident enough in the legal counsel I've received to handle things until I run into a snag. I would rather the money go to my daughter than to an attorney. My attorney is on cue should I need him. My comment, I'll get at the fog. I think you're doing the right thing in divorcing her. She sounds pretty bad to me, a well-educated but evil, conniving little being not fit for marriage, nor motherhood either. I would bet. But whatever, could you clarify? You didn't mention whether she actually walks upright or slithers along on her belly. Well, if you get my drift, I'm showing you what contempt looks like. You should be feeling nothing else for her except that. Use your exposures as leverage for her very best cooperation in the divorce. I would absolutely need to blow her up further. Her precious job, in fact, even if it meant having to pay her alimony. I think she wants legal separation, so she will be free to pursue the boss, but still have Op in her back pocket as a backup plan, just in case the boss doesn't work out. Someone can be a very stubborn person, but that doesn't mean they don't know right from wrong. If I were him, I would work hard because you are an amazing wife. Fix her whatever BS he wrote. Seriously. And she bought this cheesy line coming from a man who is looking for sex behind his wife's back. Oh, the irony. It appears that Oak's wife has been shopping for an exit affair. Her saying her own husband is not scary is very disrespectful. That shows how low her opinion of him. Please let his wife know what her pose has been up to. What do you guys think of these short Friday stories? You enjoyed it. I'm going to spend some time tonight for tomorrow's video. Please continue the support with the sub and bell, and let's have a fun weekend.